You are listening to Three Kitchens Podcast, hosted by Erin Walker and Heather Dyer.
We're friends trying out recipes in our own regular home kitchens. We hope our experiences will inspire you to get creative in the kitchen. Well, let's get this show on the road. Erin?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
It's almost Easter,
How does this creep up on us?
right? It's that holiday that you look forward to because it means spring, it means the end of winter, getting things in maybe in the garden soon, or at least you're planning for it.
Maybe that's why they put the Easter stuff out like right after Christmas. I don't know if you noticed this
Yeah.
year,
For
but
sure.
Easter stuff hit the shelf before Valentine's stuff even did. And I was like, I feel like a holiday's missing in between here. I feel like I shouldn't see chocolate bunnies directly after chocolate Santas. But I did, and maybe that's why. Maybe they're trying to be like, you can do it. You can make it to spring.
I've already eaten one bag of those malted egg things.
They're here?
Oh yeah,
Oh, I haven't seen them yet.
I ate a whole bag already.
Oh,
So what do we do with Easter inspiration?
I don't know if this is a good thing to be inspired to do, but
Oh.
with the colors and the creativity that is sparked by our spring weather, we've decided to go down the path of jellied salads.
You sound like you're not sure about
I
it.
sound so scared about it because I've looked at
So many by now?
many by now, and I also have a pretty rough track record when it comes to anything jellied. Me and those little gelatin packages,
Oh yeah, you've had Jell-o that just didn't set.
yeah, I've really messed those up a few times, and I've really regretted trying to make jellied things.
Okay, but is that using like regular like unflavored gelatin or like a Jell-o brand powdered?
Oh, that would be like unflavored gelatin.
Yeah, can be
That's for the
tricky.
experienced home cook.
My aunties, like when I was a kid, the jellied things they would put into molds, it was like fascinating. And I tried to do a quick little history. So this is going to be the most abbreviated history of jellied salad that you've ever heard.
Oh, fantastic.
Entire books have been written on the subject. So if you're curious, and I have to say I'm a little tempted, maybe the next time I'm at the library to see if they've got one of these books because it is kind of fascinating,
Okay.
honestly. So according to Serious Eats, gelatin dishes date all the way back to medieval Europe. So people
No
have
way.
been fascinated with setting things with gelatin since like eons ago.
That's
I know.
crazy. I would have never put that as the date.
I
Okay.
know.
Okay, now I do want to take out this book at the library too. You've got competition.
You'll have to put it on hold. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so there was a cookbook from London in 1747 that describes this procedure. But basically, you have bones of calves' feet
Okay.
into a pot with water and some other things.
And here I am complaining about a package of gelatin powder when here these women are boiling up the hooves.
Yes, hooves plus a bunch. I'm going to
Okay.
guess those other things are like spices too. So there's nutmeg and mace, and you're going to boil it until it kind of reduces down. Strain it through a flannel bag, let it stand for 24 hours. Scrape the fat from the top and slice it. So I'm guessing what you're left with after you've scraped the fat off is the gel. You know how
I'm
congealed.
sorry, the word flannel
Right?
bag is just still stuck in my mind, and I'm just like, ugh. Oh my goodness. Every time we start talking about this gelatin stuff, it's just like, who came up with it? All right.
I
So
know.
you slice this.
You're going to slice that. Then you're going to put it with 6 egg whites and you're going to beat it to a froth. Okay.
Okay.
So now you've got frothy jellied stuff. And you're going to boil it a little, strain it again through the flannel bag, and then put it into glasses. And you may add orange flower water or wine and sugar or lemon if you please, but this is all fancy. The lemon water is fancy. The rest of it is just, run of the mill.
Well, I mean, 1700s, did they really have fresh lemons sitting at their grocery stores?
Did they have grocery
No,
stores? No.
no, exactly. They were boiling the hooves. They didn't have time for fancy stuff like lemons.
Yeah, that's true. And you know by that description that this is not something a regular home cook is doing. This is if you have a chef. If
Oh,
you're a
yeah.
fancy pants with money and
Flannel bag.
with their flannel bags, and they know how to keep the fuzzy lint out of the gelatin, because that's what I'm picturing with the flannel.
Oh, another piece of lint.
Oh, it's so gross, so gross. And it would have just tasted like meat, right? Because it was just
It
cow
had nutmeg
bones.
and
Oh.
spices in there.
I guess.
I guess that's what it would have tasted like. Like, I'm trying to imagine Christmassy flavors plus beef. Is that
It doesn't sound good. Doesn't sound good.
this is not a strong start. Can I put it that way?
Okay, so let's continue our history lesson, children, and let's fast forward. So about 100 years later, in 1897, a cough syrup maker, I believe in the States, patented the name Jell-o. So that's where we first hear
Oh,
Jell-o.
is that the Jell-O?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And that was at a time like when home economics was a thing. People were really into domestic science and convenience and making things easier and bringing power into your home if you could. And apparently having a clean plate became a thing. Regular salad kind of was messy, but if you put it into gelatin, it stayed in a slice and it was nice and neat. And apparently that was a cool thing. So
Okay.
the first recorded jellied salad was made in 1905. And as you know, she won't have her own first name. She's a Mrs. John Cook of, I know, every time.
No, okay, keep going.
Mrs. John Cook of Newcastle, Pennsylvania won third prize in a cooking contest with something she called perfection salad, which was an aspic filled with cabbage, celery, and red pepper. So she put her salad into aspic, which is jellied broth or stock.
Okay.
Jelly, basically. And it was perfection salad. Sorry, the whole topic just cracks me up.
We're just going to be chuffing the whole time this is going down because it's something that I think from day one, we've been laughing about this with all the different jellied things, and especially this concept of putting savory meat flavors into a semi-solid this gelatin. It's
the texture with the flavors that doesn't go together. And sometimes it has actual meat in it. So it's not just the flavor of meat, but you have like pieces of meat floating around in there,
Oh, I've got some great suggestions.
Did you find some good ones?
Yes.
Okay.
So the brief history of jellies, I'm picking it up from
Oh, good.
1969
here
because
I think that was its most
that's when it really
period, right?
Started to peak.
And that it could be fast. They were all about presentation, especially at a party.
Yeah. So I'm picking this up at 1969 because if you followed us from the beginning, you know that I've got this really scary Chatelaine book from then. It's called Adventures in Cooking, and it's an adventure, all right.
You just disgraced a Canadian institution, the Chatelaine magazine.
I know,
Just kidding.
This one's got some stuff that
it was trendy.
It came from a time and a place that we no longer are. So we look back at it and, we make fun of it. And some of our favorite things from here include the bouffe en gelée.
Oh yeah, we've talked about this one before because I remember you.
Who doesn't just love the sound of that?
Yeah.
But then I came across, and I think this tops it.
Oh.
But it is a cucumber mousse that is cucumbers, gelatin, onion, salt, pepper, parsley, whipped cream mixed together into a mold that has one of the holes in the center because these often look like a ring. And so when you unmold it, you fill the center with fish salad, which is
like a tuna salad,
mayonnaise and fish and seasoning.
Yuck. I can't humor that. That's disgusting. Um, there came a time when also now like things like whipping cream or cream
Mm,
cheese, mayonnaise start being mixed into the gelatin and you get these opaque
yes.
jellies.
You can do that with cottage cheese too, I've seen. A
Yes,
cottage cheese and gelatin.
but wouldn't that be lumpy?
Like as if the jelly isn't enough, now you're getting these little chunks of curded cheese stuck in there. Like, come on. That is like all the worst textures in the world that you could imagine in one place.
I do kind of want to try the cream cheese one because I think cream cheese and a fruit jello with fruit
Mm.
might work.
And like cottage cheese isn't bad if you put like jam or something with it.
Mm,
So
yeah.
maybe
I don't think the texture of cottage cheese is right.
no, that's my problem. It's a texture thing
Yeah.
again, right?
But I think the others, like even probably the whipped cream, I can't eat that, but I imagine it's at
Mm.
least smooth. Like what you end up with is just a
It's
creamy,
one mixture. It's not
yeah,
got mystery
lumps.
chunks.
Ew.
And you know what's really interesting now as the greater culinary world has continued to grow and change, and now there's this molecular gastronomy.
Oh,
Have you
yes,
heard
yeah.
of this? And now they create flavored gelatin balls
Mm-hmm.
that
Beads,
that's
those little beads.
it looks like caviar because it's these small little beads that they make, and it's like these super concentrated flavors they put into these little gelatin beads for serving different dishes with cocktails.
I'm
Like
here for this. This sounds okay to me.
I actually was considering trying to make some of those. I don't
I
think
see it on your face. You do not want to take that
I
on.
I think I'm gonna hate myself a lot if I try to do this.
Yeah,
But I have looked into it briefly.
I'd be all for trying them. I don't want to make it myself. I feel like I'd just fuck that whole thing up.
Yeah.
Really?
Um, so we're gonna bring
Yes.
back the jellied salads, or at least attempt some jellied salads for Easter
Hmm.
because they're gonna be pretty.
I haven't decided which I'm going to make. Now, I think I probably will make a sunshine salad because we know that's a good one that we enjoy.
I like the
That's a,
sunshine salad.
it's usually a lemon or orange Jell-o,
Hmm.
and you put in grated carrots and sometimes oranges.
Some sort of citrusy.
Yeah, some fruit, it's all kind of orange
Hmm.
colored.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. It's
Yeah.
not like knock your socks off or anything, but it's good.
No, but it's like a fun way to serve up a salad. It looks really like it is
Mhm.
fun. I can't blame the ladies from the 1960s.
And we made when we had Chef Kiki call from American Vintage. We did one from her blog, which is prosecco
Mm,
and gelatin mixed with prosecco, and then you put berries like fruit
yes.
into it. And it makes this really pretty bubbly, like there's little bubbles in it from the prosecco. And it's a really beautiful one to put out on your table. And it tastes good. There's nothing in there that doesn't taste good. It's prosecco and fruit.
Yeah.
So that one we're not going to make for this episode, but we've made it before and we highly recommend. That's a delicious, impressive, easy. Yeah.
And I have to say, we did in our speakeasy series that we did, you made the Jell-o shots because we haven't touched on the history of alcohol plus Jell-o, and you made
Oh,
fantastic Jell-o shots with they were what, hurricane Jell-o shots, and you made them in oranges so that they looked like slices of
oh my
orange.
God. Those were
Those
so
were
fun.
so cool. That really worked out well.
Those were good.
I brought up a memory of a green Jell-o that had some sort of lettuce and possibly carrots.
Hmm.
So I did a little bit of research on this one to try and pin down what it was. And somebody has posted a recipe for Grandma's green Jell-o salad.
It's a good name.
When I saw the picture, I was like, this is the thing that was on my plate when I was a kid.
Okay.
So, this recipe that I'm going to make has a box of lime gelatin, a cup of water, and then a cup of pineapple juice. It's got finely shredded cabbage and a grated carrot.
Okay.
And so really nothing to write home about here.
But the sum of the parts might be,
I can just, like, I looked at that picture and I was like, oh my God, I can taste this. I can think about the texture. I can remember this from my grandma's kitchen. So I want to make it and relive that memory, whether it be good or bad.
I've eaten that too, and I can totally taste it. I don't mind this one.
I'm kind of excited about this because of the amount of nostalgia attached to the memory of eating this.
It's like the sunshine salad. When I first, as an adult, I brought it to your house. That was the first time I had made one myself.
Yes,
it was a number of years ago. It was like that because I remembered it so well, and I was like, is it going to be the same? Is it not?
Yeah.
I liked it just as much as I remembered liking it.
Yeah, so it's a fun little trip down memory lane.
Yeah.
So what are you going to try that's new?
Well, I don't know. There's so many different ways you can do this. I kind of want to try one with cream cheese, even if it's a layer. And maybe I'll try the layer because that's a whole other thing.
Well, aren't you brave?
I'm not sure. I know I feel a little nervous about that, but maybe that's good because it'll be fun to try it.
I'm going to try one of these little guys that you put in a ramekin and serve on top of a salad.
Nice.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Because you were so like, I'm not eating a tomato aspic. I was like, okay, stay away from anything that says it. I'm hoping you'll be on board with this because of what I know about our past history in liking different flavors. This is a Waldorf cider salad, and this is a gelatin lemon juice apple cider jelly that has apples, celery, and apricots in it that you make and then put on top of salad greens. And you can serve, if you like, with mayonnaise on top.
Oh yeah, I don't understand why they put the mayo on all these, like so many of them.
I don't get it either.
Yeah.
So I mean, you may. I don't think you have to, but I think the idea of like a cider and sweet with the salad makes me think of like a vinaigrette, and then having something crunchy in there and having it kind of sit on your salad greens. I don't know. I'm gonna.
I don't know. I kind of think it could work. It sounds okay.
It sounds workable.
I was having a lot of fun looking at different ones, and my Mennonite community cookbook.
Oh gosh,
of yesteryear is full of different jellied salads. Lots of them are served with mayo.
Yeah.
Lots of them have some sort of creamy thing in there. Lots of them are meat aspic.
Okay, I have to also bring up, I forgot about this other one that I looked at. So this one sounded great to me when I initially read the title. And then as I went through what they wanted me to put into it, I was like, yeah, I'm out.
Oh no. What is it?
It's called a cinnamon pear mold.
Okay.
Sounds reasonable. They want you to use a tablespoon of red cinnamon heart candies as the flavoring in this.
What do? Grind them up or something?
You melt them and simmer them in the water and sugar. And then it's got like lemon jelly powder, coconut pudding mix, and whipped cream.
Ew. That sounds awful.
You really started out strong, and then it was like a nosedive as I went through this recipe.
I feel like also just giving it a cute name, making it sound kind of tasty, is like false advertising. Then you start to read the ingredients and you're like, no, hell no.
Absolutely not. It is really endlessly fun to go down the gelatin.
Yeah, there's jellied chicken salad. Apparently that's big in Texas.
Heart-shaped gelatin chicken salad. There's a heart-shaped mold because,
well,
you just love it so much.
Yeah, you love it.
I don't know.
So I don't know what I'm gonna make. I want to try something with the creamy, but it might just be a layer. I don't know. It's gonna have to be a bit of a surprise because I'm having such a hard time. We need a deadline so that I have to pick.
Okay.
Get on it.
Hi, listener. If you're into all the foodie things like us, you're probably scrolling food, photos, and videos on at least one of the social apps. Whichever social media app is your favorite, we're probably there too.
Connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Threads, or TikTok, or all of them if you're as crazy as we are. Say hi and let us know what recipe you'd like us to tackle next. Links to our socials are in the show notes. Now, let's get back to the show. Oh gosh, we made so much Jell-o.
That was a lot of Jell-o. It was a fun Jell-o extravaganza.
There was a lot. Where should we even begin?
Oh, where should we begin? I say we start with the obvious failure so that we can get it out of the way.
The savory and then go to the sweet. How about that?
Yeah. So I was going to make the Waldorf cider salad. This was too much apple cider.
It was so beautiful though. Like the presentation.
Yeah.
So pretty.
It had the little layers in it. It had everything going for it in looks. Mm-hmm. And it was like, you know how there's always these recommendations that you should like have a tablespoon of cider vinegar a day or something? That's what it felt like. I almost, after the first bite, couldn't swallow it. It was like my throat was like, no.
I kept trying. Like I took a number of bites. My husband had a bite and he was like, no. Like he wasn't like totally like, ew, but he was like, I don't think that's quite right. And then I had a bite and I was sort of like struggling to swallow it. And then I went back and he's like, you're having more? Why are you having more? You clearly don't like it. I was like, but I have to get a full picture of this.
Sometimes this is a hard job, man. Sometimes.
It wasn't that it was like the most awful. It was too strong a vinegar flavor, but
yes.
I still think with a bit of adjustment, this could be really good. I did like the idea of like that kind of jelly with the salad. I don't know.
I didn't mind the texture if it didn't taste like pure vinegar.
Yes.
I mean, it was just apple cider vinegar, lemon juice, and gelatin. And then I had slices of celery, apple, and then they said to have diced canned apricots, but I could only find diced canned peaches.
Canned apricots?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen canned apricots.
No. I'm assuming if you have canned apricots, you've canned them yourself.
Oh, yes, that could be.
So I just substituted canned peaches. Mm-hmm. And I thought that all worked really well. Again, it was just the over vinegariness.
Okay, well that's a problem, right?
So that's why.
A balance, maybe a more of some other kind of juice to like maybe an apple juice or something to kind of balance all that acid that was in there.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like the apple juice idea. I did go in and try the mayonnaise because I thought maybe the oiliness of the mayonnaise will help this. It didn't.
No,
but I tried.
I did think maybe I need to drizzle oil over, but then it wouldn't blend it enough, I don't think, to really make a difference. So I think it's in the Jell-o that needs to be changed.
Yes.
Yeah. There's potential there. Even though it was like a shock, like, whoa, that was too much vinegar. And it wasn't quite a success.
I hope that I adequately warned you.
You did. I knew what was coming.
I didn't want you to dig into it and be like,
It wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to do better. I liked making it. It was fun to put together pretty.
Yeah. I like the concept. Mm-hmm. Just needs a little tweaking.
So maybe I shall do some R&D and try and make a better Jell-o. But I think it was one of the prettiest ones we made.
It really is. It's like layering that. I liked the layer into like kind of a little mold of salad. I don't know. It's just really pretty. Loved it.
A for looks.
Yeah.
F for flavor. Which one are you going to talk about first now?
How about I talk first about the sunshine salad, which is I would say it's one of the more commonly known of jellied salads.
Yes.
Very common, particularly if you grew up eating these sort of things. This one is probably like, oh yeah, I remember this. There's nothing weird in there. It's like, it's pretty basic.
Scare you.
Yeah. It is made with lemon Jell-o, grated carrots, canned crushed pineapple. There's a teaspoon of lemon juice in there, but that's it. And you're just gonna put the Jell-o powder, the water per the the box instructions. So there's boiling water, then cold water. Mix it so it dissolves the powder. And then you're just putting in your pineapple and your carrot. And then you pour it into a mold and you leave it in the fridge for a couple hours, or I just left it overnight. And then the next day you can turn it out. And it's this beautiful kind of orange colored Jell-o with carrot and pineapple in there.
It is really pretty. I love the mold that you did on that. Is it a silicone one that you use?
No.
And did it just come out?
It did. It came out so easy. I just happened upon that mold at IKEA.
Right.
It's kind of a smaller one, like a small bunt, basically. And when I mixed it up, it didn't even fill the whole thing. Okay, I halved the recipe that normally feels like a full bundt cake, which I've made before the full recipe. And I was like, I don't want one that big. I had this small mold, but I wasn't sure how much. So I just halved it and it wasn't quite full.
Is the regular recipe 2 packs of Jell-o then?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But cool. I could have made the whole thing, to be honest, because my family really likes this one and I do too. And we don't eat it very often. So I think I could have made the whole thing, honestly, in hindsight. And we'd have eaten it.
This is such a good one. I think this is so good. I really love sunshine salad.
I know. It is really tasty.
I think that if you're going to bring something, to bring that is a fun way to do a salad.
You can have it as a salad or as a dessert because of the fruit and the Jell-o, it's sweet.
Yeah.
It's not like overpowering. But I wouldn't say the carrot is enough to really classify it as a salad. I don't know why they even call it a salad, really, but
true enough.
It's a bit more like a dessert.
But who cares?
Yeah.
It's got some vegetables in it. If you're fighting with your kids to eat their veggies, go for sunshine salad.
Seriously, and then you can work up to putting more stuff in it, like the one that you made.
Oh, that's right.
How's that for a segue?
Amazing, Heather. This salad had all the feels for me. I don't think I've eaten this since I was sitting at my grandma's kitchen table. I don't remember ever eating this since then. I don't think my mom made it after she passed away. I don't think I thought about it again for a long time. And as I mixed it up to put everything together, I was like, oh my God, this is it. This is it. This is the salad. I was pretty excited. So we called it Grandma's Green Salad when I served it up to everybody. And it is a box of lime Jell-o with 1 cup of water and 1 cup of pineapple juice. So what you do is you drained your crushed pineapple can into a measuring cup and then just top it up to be that 2nd cup of liquid that goes into your Jell-o. And so you put the water and the pineapple juice into a saucepan, heat them up, and pour your lime Jell-o in and mix it until it dissolves in there. And then once you've got that done, you're going to have a cup of shredded fine cabbage. You're going to have 1/2 cup of shredded carrot, and then 1 cup of the crushed pineapple. So that's what you get about exactly 1 cup from that can of crushed pineapple that you drained out. And so you got the pineapple, the cabbage, and carrot mixed together in a dish, and then you just pour your lime Jell-o over top and let it set.
See, very similar to sunshine, but now
so
you've got
easy.
Lime instead of lemon, and you've added cabbage to it, and you've got a whole new one. This is so fun.
And it's so crunchy and delicious, and it just tastes like grandma to me.
It's like childhood. It's a good one.
Yeah, this was so good.
This one, I would say, the presentation is not quite as good. Like it doesn't, because of the cabbage and stuff, it doesn't mold quite as nicely to like cut it into a nice slice and serve it up. It looks a little bit like what the heck is on my plate, like when you serve it. But it is worth it because it's just tasty, and the crunch of the vegetables with the Jell-o. It sounds weird, but works. I don't know.
It's like a really fresh, crunchy salad.
Yeah,
with delightful limey flavor.
It's good. I know. It's one of these things. It's hard to describe why it's good. So if it doesn't bring back, memories of your childhood, as it does for us, you probably still will like it. There's nothing here that's like, what the heck was that all about? Which is what you come across with some of these jellied things.
We got into this again after we finished the first recording. And we started texting each other back and forth. Oh no, I think this is the worst one. Oh
Yeah.
no, this is. We just kept finding terrible iterations on Jell-O as we continued looking further and further into it. So I would say we safely came out with some good options.
Yes.
And your final experiment was a layered Jell-O. And I think we can all cheer that we didn't go through the sweetened condensed milk Jell-O.
I had come across this recipe that had a layer that looks kind of very pale pink. It's opaque Jell-O, and I think it was cranberry juice, plain gelatin powder, and then you mix it with sweetened condensed milk, blend it, and it makes this very like milky looking Jell-O layer. And I was like, okay, it sounds a bit weird. I don't know how it's going to taste, but I kind of wanted to try it. And in the end, I scrapped that layer because I had this idea of 3 layers, and then I realized my mold is actually not that deep. And to do 3 layers just felt like
Gotcha.
a big pain in the ass. And so I didn't do it.
You texted me and I said, yay!
Yay! Okay, so what I did do with this, it's a bit of a mashup. So first I made what ended up being the top layer, but it's in the bottom of my mold.
Right, you have to think upside down.
Yes, think upside down. And that was just very basic Jell-O with fruit in it. So I did a raspberry Jell-O with raspberries and cherries that I'd had in my freezer from summer. They were Okanagan cherries.
Well, thank you for using some with us. They were delightful.
Yes. But here's the trick for this kind of thing. If you don't want all your fruit to kind of sink to the bottom of that mold, which would make it the top of your jelly, which would be okay. You could do it that way. If you want to try to suspend them a little bit more, you mix up your Jell-O, put it in the fridge until it starts to sort of start jellying.
Okay.
It starts to thicken. I think I left it in there. I left it in there while we had dinner and stuff. So it was maybe like a couple hours, 2.5 hours. And then I saw that it was starting to become jelly, and I took it out and I stirred it up a little bit and I folded the fruit into it. And then I put it into my mold and I tried to kind of jiggle it to level it, but it's not going to be completely flat when you have fruit.
Okay.
And you've kind of broken it up, the jelly.
Right, yeah.
Just a little tip. So then I just put that into the fridge overnight.
Okay.
Okay, so then I saw this one, which was called a cranberry delight. This ended up being like my favorite thing, and I thought it sounded kind of weird, but I really like this.
Very much liked.
Yeah, so this one is, again, raspberry Jell-O, and you're going to put the boiling water like you would to dissolve the Jell-O crystals, and you're not going to add in cold water. Normally, according to the package, you do boiling water, then you do cold water, and then you leave it alone. In this case, you're just going to do all boiling water until it dissolves. Then you're going to put it in the fridge again until it starts to set, which, hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. Just keep an eye on it and see when it just starts to set. It's starting to thicken a little bit. Then you take it out and you kind of whisk it up. So you loosen it and mix it up. And now you're going to add in sour cream and canned cranberry sauce, which is that like solid, as you made that sound effect.
That's right. Okay.
That's what was in there. So you've got 3 boxes of gelatin, 2 cups of sour cream, and a 14-ounce can of the cranberry sauce. So you can get the whole berry. I noticed, because I don't typically buy cranberry sauce, I always just make with fresh cranberry. So I didn't actually know there was a difference, but there is basically cranberry jelly, and then there's whole cranberry sauce in a can.
Okay.
I was debating. I didn't know which one I would prefer. I just bought the jelly because I wasn't sure how it would turn out. But go either way. I think either would be good.
Yeah.
Okay, and you mix it with it, you whisk it all together, and then you're going to pour it in. So I'm pouring it on top of my Jell-O fruit layer that's already set.
Okay.
And try to kind of even it out. It's very thick, so it's kind of hard to get it like nice and level in the mold. Back in the fridge it goes to set. So this, okay, I did do it all in one day. This I left overnight.
Okay.
And then put a plate on top, turn it over,
and
pray that you can lift the mold off. I had a moment. I was like, oh my God, please let this work. Because, it's
Yes.
layered. It's two different things. I didn't know if they would both, what if one didn't set and the other one
Oh
did? Like,
man. Yeah.
I was like stressed about it. And of course, I had tasted that cranberry delight
Oh, but of
before it had
course.
set when I mixed it. And I was like, oh, I know we're going to want to eat this. So I hope, please let it set.
I hope it's pretty.
Yeah. And it worked.
Yeah. This creamy Jell-o thing.
I
Hmm.
know. So
Yeah.
good.
I'm so excited that this is sour cream. That's awesome.
Tell me about it because I can eat like sour cream doesn't really bother me.
Yeah.
And I did look for lactose-free sour cream, but they didn't have it at the store.
Mm.
But anyway, it was fine with just regular sour cream.
Yeah.
And honestly, I liked the cranberry jelly sauce stuff. It didn't totally, like there were chunks of it in there that were
Is
kind
that
of
what
like
was the little
cranberry Jell-o.
pieces? Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Which just to me seemed like pieces of cranberry Jell-o
Yeah.
within the Jell-o, right?
Pretty much, but it
Mm.
worked out so good. That was really good. Yeah. I'm gonna be making that again.
I really enjoyed it. And I'd never had like a Jell-o molded dessert or salad that was creamy.
I'm gonna say for sure tastes better than Cool Whip mixed into your Jell-o.
And I think the sour cream is less sweet than like a Cool Whip.
Oh, absolutely. Give that a try if you've had other terrible creamy Jell-os in the past, because this one's good.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna say.
And it's so easy to make.
Hmm.
And you don't have to mold it, although I do love I like it out of I like any of these in a mold. It just looks cool.
If you have an old crystal bowl, like you know how grandmas always
Mhm.
had like crystal bowl or like depression glassware that you made this in, if you're afraid about unmolding it, I think just making it in one of those would be really pretty and it would look really attractive to bring to a table. You can still see the layers through there, and I think that'd be really kind of fun.
Yeah, or if you have space in your fridge and you want to do individual glasses, say, you could just
Yeah.
put it into cute little glasses and serve with a spoon, and it would be so good. Loved
These are
it.
all really fun ideas for Easter. I hope everybody switches it up and does something jellied for Easter. Oh, I can't believe I'm saying this. It sounds crazy, but really,
Well, and we have received mixed reviews from a couple of people that we've mentioned that we were doing this episode. They're like, why? Why do you want to do that?
it died. Let it be dead.
Yeah, it turns
No.
out it's not dead, and we like it.
We're bringing back the Jell-o.
That's right.
And now for the fine print. For links to recipes and many other random things we talked about in this episode, check out the show notes or our website, www.threekitchenspodcast.com. Join us over on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, YouTube, and TikTok to see what we're cooking up next. And if you love the show, tell a friend. Word of mouth is the #1 way people learn about new podcasts. Thank you so much for listening. What's for dinner tonight, Mom? Aspic again!